Hi guys, welcome to Didedi's Crafty Corner. Hi guys, today we're going to be playing with the Lawn Fawn stitched cupcake dies. This is what they look like. I picked this up in a recent haul from the Not Too Shabby shop. I picked it up specifically because it had some stitched outlining where the cupcake dies that I had now didn't have them. Now these are super cute because not only does it come with the little faces that you can put on, the candle, the hats, the candles layered, the hats layered, the little strawberries layered, and I love the stitching on the little cupcake papers themselves. I thought that was super cute. You get a little heart and a lot of fun, right? Cutting them apart, however, not so much. So to do this, better not to be pushing them back and forth, right? I see a lot of people say just push them back and forth to release the dies. It's not the most effective way to do this. Pick yourself up a little inexpensive pair of bead cutters or bead wire cutters. I just have a brand that I picked up from Joann's. Of course, I used a coupon on it, so it was very inexpensive. They're not very expensive. And I've had the same pair for many years, and they've never let me down. You can see they just have a fine little tip. You can get right in there, cut them all out, and then you can file them down if you want to, or just play with them like I'm going to do. So I've attached all of mine onto a magnetic sheet, and I also have this really cool little tool, which is mine is super old, but you can still buy them. They're little magnets to pick up pins and needles for a sewing kit. I've already cut out all my little pieces and I store them on the magnetic sheet that you see. That way I'm not going to lose any of those tiny little pieces. So I've cut them out, as you can see. Beautiful stitching, gorgeous details. These are super cute dies, super cute dies. So I've cut them out in a variety of colors. My idea, see the little places where you can stick things into the frosting to make it look dimensional? Super cute. Like I said before, the candles and the strawberries are all dimensional, so that's really cute. And you can layer up the frosting in many different ways. You could go as high or as cute as you wanted to go. And I'm going to show you that in this card. So I'm using some Lawn Fawn paper. It's a very old pack. It's called Mon Ami, I think. And I put a little stitch in this one because originally I was going to put the strawberry in that one, but I'm not going to end up doing that. I'm going to be covering it up, but I'm showing you that's what that little die is for, is to put a little line so that you can poke the strawberry right down in there, or a hat or something, whatever you wanted to poke in there. As I was doing this card, I thought about how cute it would be to actually put a little critter in there, so that'll be coming up. But I wanted to do these two cards, one more feminine and one more masculine. I'm also not going to be adding a sentiment onto the front of my card because I'm not sure if I wanted to say happy birthday or you're sweet or my favorite cupcake. There's so many things you could do, right? So I'm using my art glitter glue and I'm attaching all of the pieces in the places where I want them to be. So I've used this cute little polka dot paper for the base, and I've added a piece of 110-pound cardstock to the back. So I've cut out the cupcake wrapper twice. One in a Nina Solar and the Nina Desert Storm, and then once in the Lawn Fawn paper, and that's because I just wanted it to have a little more stability since I was just going to be adding a little tape to the back of it. So for the candle, I'm going to be flicking in just a little bit of the dark orange in the middle and then adding one. There's 3 ways you could use the candle topper. So I mean, you know, the world is your oyster here, guys. You can pretty much make it however you want to. So I've just added a little bit of an orange gold color in mine. I've added the glue, and I'm going to stick it right on my little candle. So in this particular one that we're working on right now, I've used the pink and the browns and the polka dot paper for the cupcake. And then I'm going to be using that same paper for the background. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the browns, which is my more masculine card, and for the candle, I just used 2 tones of pink. I wanted to keep all of my colors in the same family. Now, I wasn't sure about the hat. I wanted to show it to you. It comes in layered pieces. I thought maybe if I cut it out in brown, I might use it as an accent piece in the corner or something. Super cute. The hat is super stinking cute, whether you use it with the stripes or not. It's adorable. I'm not going to be using it with the stripes at all. I just decided at the very end, spoiler alert, I wouldn't use it on this particular project. So right now I'm gluing my little candle down and making sure that it's somewhat straight. At first I thought I might put it in a little bit offset because I might stick the hat on the top of the cupcake, but I've decided not to. So now that I've got the pink one done, let's start on the brown one. And the brown one, I used 3 layers of frosting. So again, I took that Desert Storm and put it on the bottom. I used the same brand of paper, the Poca Mon Ami by Lawn Fawn. It's an older pad. And then I cut out the cupcake parts in 3 different ways, and I'm going to be adding it onto my cupcake that way. So I've taken the little scalloped ruffle part, the stitched part, and I've added that to the bottom layer of frosting, and then I've added the swirly dark part to the middle, and I'm going to be putting the light part on top, and that's going to help my strawberry to pop, as well as give it a pop of color on all the brown and beige that I'm using in this masculine card. I figured a strawberry was masculine as well, so I thought that was super cute. And for my strawberry, I actually used that same Desert Storm cardstock because I wanted to keep everything in the same tone of family. So although we've got red and green, I kept the little dots brown, and I think it tied in super stinking cute. So in the places where I needed a fine tip applicator, I'm using my art glitter glue with the fine detail tip on it, and that helps me to get it in a more precise area and not use too much glue and not make too much of a mess. So I'm applying that, and I'm adding my little cherry in there, or my little strawberry in there, and isn't it adorable when I bring it back in frame? It's so cute. So I got a little bit too much glue, even though I was working on not using too much glue, and I think both of these turned out super stinking cute. All right, here's a close-up. Aren't they adorable? I really think the stitching and the stitching on the little cupcake wrapper really does a lot for this card. So now I'm just going to be adding my paper onto the cardstock, and by doing that, or for doing that, again, I'm using the same, I showed you the paper already just then, it's the Poca Mon Ami, and I'm just going to add some glue, and I'm going to add my little paper on the top just with the regular glue, and I'm going to center it down the best that I can anyway. So it may be a little off, but hey guys, it's handmade cards, right? So now I'm using a piece of polka dot vellum. Now I brought in the polka dot vellum for this card to kind of match up with the polka dot paper and just give the card a little more interest, since it was going to be just one focal point on this card. So I added my glue to the middle of the vellum because you're not going to see it past the cupcake, and then I added my vellum to a piece of white 110-pound cardstock, and I'm going to be adding the cupcake to the front of that. Now for the cupcake, we're going to be using some 3M tape. Now the vellum, I've only got it tacked down in the middle because I want these papers, the vellum papers, to either roll up or roll down. Again, just to give the card a little more interest, a little more detail, and a little pop of something that you wouldn't expect. So I'm going to try to roll it in just a few minutes. I've added some 3M foam tape. Now this one is the Scotch brand. Sometimes I use the Scotch, sometimes I use the other brand. It just depends on how thick I want my tape to be. So for this one, I'm adding a little bit of the Scotch 3M foam tape, just one single strip of it, and it's taking me so very long to cut a small strip to go on that candle because the tape kept getting stuck to my fingernails. Yep, true story. But there we go. It's on there. Super, super cute. And that, except for one little detail, a little heart, or maybe I will use that hat, I don't know. Here I'm showing you how you can roll the paper with a pencil if you want to get that rolled effect. but you can also just roll it onto itself, which I'll show you at the end. I do that with the chocolate or the brown card as well as on this one as well. So now for this one, I've taken a piece of vellum. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but it has got vertical stripes. It also had, it really had horizontal stripes, but I cut it in a way so that it was vertical. And I'm going to be doing that the same way, putting a spot of glue in the middle, gluing it down to the cardstock, gluing the cardstock down to my panel piece. Again, from the Lawn Fawn. All of that is from the same pad. And then I'm going to add that sheet of paper with the little focal point onto my card base with the art glitter glue all around the outside edges, and then again I will put it down the best that I can, and while it's still just a little bit wet or a little bit tacky, I'll pull it and maneuver it to wherever I think it looks the best. But again, guys, remember, don't stress over this. It's a handmade card. You want it to look the best that you can get it to look, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I promise you it doesn't. Okay, so now for the cupcake, again, I'm just adding a big piece of the Scotch 3M double-sided tape, the foam tape, and we're going to pop that right in the center as well. And isn't that going to be stinking adorable? Oh my goodness. I think my favorite is the brown, just because it's so hard to get a nice mail kind of card, right? Or something you could give a guy, and I think that one's perfect, absolutely perfect. So for this card, I decided, since it's probably going to go to my sweetheart, I would put a couple of hearts on it. So I cut out all 3 of the browns that I used in the cupcake frosting, and I've cut them out with that little heart that came in the set, and I'm just adding little dots of glue and adding them down to the bottom of the card in the right hand corner, making it a little triangle, which is kind of my signature move actually. And isn't that stinking adorable? It's so cute. Now I wanted to put a little something something on this card. I really did. I had cut out a couple of hearts and I had cut out that hat. I just don't know. I put the hat together so you guys could see it. I'm gonna try it on the corner, but it's gonna turn out that I really don't like it so much on the card itself. I think if I had not used the candle and put the little hat on top of the cupcake, I would have liked it just fine. But together with what I had going on, I just really didn't like it. So I'm going to take one of those hearts and I'm going to play around with that one, trying to figure out where to put a heart. And I ended up just sticking it right on the chocolate frosting. I thought that that was the perfect combination. And later when I pull this card back out to give it to someone, if I can think of something, maybe a little bow or a little tied ribbon or something on the bottom, I'll do that. But for now, I think that this turned out super, super cute. I love both of them. I am going to go ahead. You can see I'm still trying. Where am I going to put this hat? I wanted to use that little hat so bad, guys, and I just wasn't feeling it. You know, sometimes you're just not feeling it. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the little heart, and then I'm going to take that little the little vellum pieces, and I'm just going to roll them down on top of themselves. So if you watch what I do, I'm just taking the corners when I get there, if I ever get there, I'm going to take those corners and I'm just going to roll them down. See, I'm just rolling it down just to give it a little interest. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one, just rolling it down. And I'm just going to do it actually on 3 sides. I may just do it on 2 for the film. But that way, and you could do it opposite corners as well. And look, isn't that adorable? So stinking cute. Here are the close-up cards. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed doing it for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys, have a great day.